A movie review of Blinded by the Light with a Chicago spin. It's possible that no contemporary filmmaker does a better job of telling stories about culture clash and the immigrant experience than Gurinder Chadha, who also gave us Bend It Like Beckham and Bride and Prejudice.
Bruce sings about not letting the hardness of the world stop you from letting the best of you slip away. My hope is to build a bridge to my ambitions, but not a wall between my family and me.
Come to see a visit?
I'm going to see Bruce Springsteen's hometown.
I can't think of a better reason to visit the United States than to see the home of the boss.
This is Reno Lovison, executive producer at ChicagoBroadcastingNetwork.com, reviewing Chadha's newest film, Blinded by the Light, released nationwide August 16, 2019. In Blinded by the Light, Chadha brings to life the story of Javed, a British Pakistani Muslim teenager whose life is changed after he discovers the music of Bruce Springsteen. The semi-autobiographical movie is based on the experiences of British-born journalist and Bruce Springsteen superfan Sarfraz Manzoor. The winsome Vivek Kalra stars in the lead role of Javed, who wants nothing more than to bust out of his small working-class town in the outskirts of London and become a writer. He knows he's born to run, but feels reined in by a seemingly overbearing father whose traditional values and need to survive are in conflict with Javed's own desire to experience life on his own terms.
You think that this man sings for people like us? But he talks to me.
After his new friend Roops introduces him to the songs of Springsteen, who himself felt similarly smothered by the constraints of his own working-class environment, Javed finds the inspiration he's been seeking that helps him discover his own voice. Along the way, he finds encouragement from his English teacher, Miss Clay, and a supportive neighbor who accidentally becomes aware of Javed's writings. Equally important in this coming-of-age story is his newfound love interest in the person of Eliza, a local, non-Pakistani girl with political passions that rival Javed's own passion to express himself. Blinded by the Light is peppered with songs of the boss, but you need not be familiar with his work or a fan of his music to enjoy this film. Director Chadha, who is of East Asian origin herself, has a knack for revealing the emotional conflict between immigrant parents and their children who are being raised in an environment with cultural traditions much different from their own. The director does this tenderly, tempered with humor that is often born out of the seeming absurdity related to certain situations. In particular is a scene where Javed has dinner with Eliza and her parents that seems to be a nod to Monty Python, but is also reminiscent of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Her film style is eclectic and leans a bit old school, which gives her movies a kind of exotic look to modern Western audiences, but is actually steeped in the film tradition of the more conservative pre-1960s filmmaking style, with a few nods to the Bollywood traditions, including a charming impromptu dance in an outdoor market full of colorful multi-ethnic and age-diverse participants. Some filmgoers may consider her a bit cornball, but it's a style that is comfortable for her Indo-Pak audiences and is actually appreciated by Western audiences who are looking for a feel-good film with a message that's not overbearing or preaching. Though her films, including this one, deal largely with the Indo-Pak community, the stories are universal and relevant to virtually all immigrant communities who are merging their lives into countries with largely Western European cultural traditions, including, of course, the United States. For those whose immigrant experience seems remote, forgotten, or somehow non-existent, Chadha kicks open the front door, letting us peek into the lives of people who are labeled as foreign, but who in fact simply reveal themselves to be human. Because of Chicago's diverse ethnic communities, this is a perfect place to visit the world without leaving home. So why not consider a total immersive experience by visiting Chicago's own Indo-Pak neighborhood, the center of which is basically at Devon and Western. Perhaps after viewing this film, you might see your neighbors in a different light. I don't live far from this area and often interact with a number of business people from the West Ridge Chamber and other area chambers of commerce as part of the Northside Networking Group, a congregation of business people who meet about 4 or 5 times a year to learn more about each other and build business relationships. If you're a business person in the West Ridge, Rogers Park, Edgewater, Andersonville, Uptown area, be sure to visit NorthsideNetworkingGroup.com to learn more. If you're interested in learning how to use video in social media, my friend Israel Leichtman will be sharing the secrets of creating video that gets results. The workshop will be held September 3rd at the Skokie Library. For more information, go to video.compuchicago.com. That's video.compuchicago.com. Or look at the post page for this review at chicagobroadcastingnetwork.com to find the link. If you need video production for your website, Chicago business, or organization, check out renoweb.net. Blinded by the Light received a standing ovation at the 2019 Sundance Film Festival premiere. I had a chance to screen a preview in July at the Chicago Century Cinema at Clark and Diversey. The once former movie palace, built in 1925 as the Diversey Theater, was renovated in the 1970s as a unique vertical 7-story shopping mall. At that time, it was high on my list as a place to take Chicago visitors who were astounded by the transformation. Over the years, as the taste for indoor shopping waned and has been further challenged by online shopping, the building seems to be in the midst of its next transformation, offering office space rather than retail space, while apparently maintaining the Century Theater and LA Fitness as anchor tenants. Good news is that there's plenty of parking available in their multi-story parking lot. I love movies about cultural diversity, and give this movie 4 wide-open eyeballs on my 4-eyeball scale. This is Reno Lovison, executive producer for ChicagoBroadcastingNetwork.com. Be sure to listen to our theater reviews and other podcasts, then like, share, or subscribe to be notified when new content is added.
You should be listening to our music before you start getting confused and hating yourself.
I listen to everything. I can feel it all right here. It's like Bruce knows everything I've ever felt, everything I've ever wanted. My poems, they're not brilliant, but they're mine.
Look for Blinded by the Light at the Century or another theater near you.